Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Grief Drums, and today we're going to be talking about World War III. I don't mean the real thing. I mean the game that came out years ago that kind of got slated and didn't do too well. So for those of you that don't know, you may remember this. This is the game World War III, and this game came out, when was it? Let's have a look. On the 19th of October, 2018. And if you go on Steam and have a look at it, the reviews, all of them are mixed, and the recent reviews are mostly negative. And the reason for that was a lot of people just didn't like the game. I'm going to jump on here for 2 seconds and just have a little look at some of these reviews. Dead and Useless. I bought this game on release due to the hype of it being a spiritual successor to Battlefield 4. At the time, people were hungry for that type of experience since DICE was making World War I and II games instead of modern shooters. But this game was broken, crappy, and didn't work well at launch. Glitches, lag, and stuck in loading screens or connecting to servers. Then the game died and nobody plays it anymore, and it's been abandoned. That just gives you a bit of an idea of the kind of reception it got. I did play it when it first came out, and I did quite enjoy it. It left a little bit to be desired, though, and I'm going to be the first to say that. It just... something was missing. It just wasn't the AAA quality that most people are used to from a game of this kind of grandeur, if you will. But then everything went dark. I believe, although I'm not 100% sure, yeah, the game actually got pulled from Steam entirely. You couldn't buy it anymore. So on the 28th of April 2020, Farm 51, the developer of World War III, actually announced a partnership with the new publisher, My Games, or My Games, My Period Games if you're American. I don't know, My Games, stating in there that we are happy to announce the partnership with My Games and benefit from their wealth of experience in publishing multiplayer shooters. They went on to say that our collaboration with My Games ensures that we can take a truly global approach to publishing World War III, while remaining faithful to our original vision of the game as we work to enhance its core gameplay, polish mechanics, and push the boundaries of the overall scale of the project. Now, this straight away got a lot of people's backs up, and the reason for that is the fact that the publisher, My Games, are predominantly pushing free-to-play titles. Certainly from what I can see. I haven't had a massive involvement with them. I don't play any of these games. But a quick look on their website, a lot of these, I believe, are free-to-play titles, and I can understand why that would put people off. Over the past couple of weeks, World War III sort of reinvigorated itself and came back to the forefront of a lot of people's minds, though, because their Twitter became a lot more active, and they started to drop some teasers. They've been doing a countdown with a new image of a new operator every single day alongside a number. And now that we've got to the final day, we've just had the reveal of what it's been counting down to. The speculation that this was going to be a free-to-play title appears to have been wrong, and instead, the reveal itself showcased various things, and we're going to just quickly run through them while the video plays in the background. To start off with was the map improvements. The video showed several different battlegrounds and maps such as major cities, with the claim that the devs have stayed true to the real-world locations. They've also gone ahead and optimized all of the maps because I think that was a bone of contention with the original game. But regardless, this looks really clean. It looks really nice. I'm desperate to check out some of these places. They look incredible. There's even one area that kind of looks like the inside of Interchange from Escape from Tarkov. Now, I guess that's pretty much just any mall in that area, but regardless, it looks kind of like that. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays.
Your multiplayer experience, improving navigation, select areas, and making them more interesting battlegrounds. And despite the changes, we've stayed true to the real-world geography of these cities.
The gunplay and animations for the game, they've had a full overhaul. They've reworked the recoil, as well as added loads of new animations for pretty much all movement and actions. There's been a pretty big update to the overhaul in the way in which you deploy, including parachuting vehicles in from aircraft, which looks amazing. And it brings it a lot more modern, you know? I mean, this is something that goes on quite frequently now in real-world situations. It's not difficult to deploy a vehicle via a parachute nowadays. And yes, I know it, you could do it during World War II. It happened a lot. But actually physically having this in game, I think is a really nice feature. It just makes it feel very modern. I don't know why. I can't even explain that. It's just, in my mind, it just feels like more modern. There's also been the addition of brand new gadgets such as RPGs, C4, flashes, poison grenades, Geneva Convention, anybody? But with regards to the gameplay, they've gone down something they're calling playable realism. Now, I really like this. I really like this because very often in games, you get the side of the community that will say, I want it to be as realistic as possible. And the problem with adding all of this realism is there comes a line where the game just becomes unplayable. Realism in games is something that I absolutely love. I love it when you play the game and there's all these little features. I really enjoy playing Armor for that very reason and adding all of these mods on. But realism is a term that kind of causes controversy. And the reason for that is when you play a game like Rainbow Six that was originally supposed to be kind of realistic, there's certain things that people can look past and there's others that they can't. A perfect example is the reinforcements, being able to reinforce the wall. You're carrying 2 giant metal barricades inside of your ass, and it's not realistic in the slightest. For that to be realistic, you would have to have them somewhere in the map and drag them upstairs. That would remove a lot of the immersion, it would break the game, it just wouldn't really work. And then on the other side of the coin, you get the people that say, well, you know, COD, you're literally jumping off of the top of buildings, deploying a parachute, and you're landing on the ground. And that is removing a lot of that realism element. And you're starting to move more into the world of not necessarily a sci-fi shooter with that sort of feature, but games like Rainbow Six where Jackal is sort of sniffing people's feet and giving an accurate ping on where they are on the other side of the map. Or, you know, Overwatch style gameplay. You're starting to move away from a lot of that realism element that people really want when they play a game like World War III. That is the reason that people would choose to play this over the World War II things. They wanted it to be based in real-life scenarios that are modern. Not futuristic, like maybe a tiny bit, but more up-to-date and current. Something a little bit more, I don't want to say relatable, but you get where I'm going with this. So what the devs here have done is they've added something called playable realism. And this is gameplay features that enhance the believability and the immersion without hindering the player. So this gives them more scope to adjust things for how it needs to be in game. You know, if the camera movement is too shaky when you're near an explosion, they could tone it down. But removing it completely would just be unrealistic and daft. So they're trying to go for more of an immersive feel to keep you properly grounded and rooted in reality. Next up is the backpack feature. Now, initially when I saw this, I wasn't 100% sure, but the more I think about it, the more I really like it, actually. It's a feature of if you need a long-range scope or you want something for close quarters, like an underbarreled shotgun, you can go ahead and grab it out of your bag. This pretty much just enables customization on the fly, mid-game. Now, I do kind of like this idea. I genuinely do. Initially, when I saw it, I wasn't convinced, as I say. But you don't have to go through pause screens and stuff. You can do it there and then. It's really nice. You don't have to wait to redeploy in order to get a weapon, only to find that you no longer need the sniper rifle anymore. The next thing up is movement. Movement was a major issue with the original game, so the devs have completely reworked almost every element. You can now walk, jog, and run, although they've called it walk, sprint, and double sprint. Odd. They've overhauled all that, like climbing, vaulting. They've added COD sliding to the game. There's a lot been going on here, and it looks really good. It looks fluid. It looks nice. It looks like a little bit jerky as well, which is kind of good. It feels more janky, and like as you vault through things, you are actually moving. You're not just gliding through a window. As well as various vehicles being added to the game, many of the ones that were originally there are getting reworked to improve things like smoothness and the collision models, all of the handling. All of these different features, as well as a load more that they announced in the video are going to be revealed in the future. Customization has been ramped up a huge amount too. There are a lot of possibilities in this game for customizing your character and the way they look and the gear they're using. It looks really, really nice, and I love playing dress up with my characters. I know that sounds stupid, it really does. But I can lose hours trying to make my character look as cool as hell and then not even get to see it because I'm playing as the character. So the more customization options, the better. I don't think you can ever have too much customization in a game when it comes to the way your character looks. Games like Ground Branch and Zero Hour and stuff like that. Zero Hour, not so much, but Ground Branch especially. You have the ability to control where the pouches are on your plate carrier, and I love it. I genuinely do. I love the ability to say I want 5 magazine pouches rather than just 3. And take that. So the elements of customization, the more the better for me. this looks like there's going to be quite a lot. Finally, with a new UI, that's user interface for those that don't know, all of the HUD and everything like that, a new kill cam feature, a full menu overhaul. The game is shaping up to look really good. I'm genuinely excited for this. So there you have it. That is everything to do with World War 3 that we currently know right now. I'm really keen for this. I'm really excited for this. I think it looks really interesting. And although it's still not announced a release date yet, I think they should probably hold off until Battlefield starts to calm down a bit, because right now that's going to be at the forefront of everyone's mind, and you don't want to be competing with that. Nevertheless, I think this is a really positive step. It's something I'm really excited to get my hands on. And as soon as I know any more, I will definitely keep you guys informed. I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know. Are you excited for this? Do you think it's just going to be a flop like the original? Let me know what you think. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. It really does help the channel out. If you don't already, feel free to subscribe. And until next time, stay reckless and relentless.